We have tripled our money since starting the 1K to 100K challenge a couple months ago. And yesterday I did like 220% on one trade. In this video, I'm going to show you what we did yesterday to find this coin that went up 220%. And I'm also going to update you on the new current trade that I just bought. Oh, and don't worry, I'm going to give you guys the exact base chain trading checklist that I used to find this coin. And it's crazy part about it wasn't even me. It was people from my group that put me on to it, so it seems like the research strategies work. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you for clicking the thumbnail. It's not clickbait. I'm going to show you exactly how to turn $1,000 into $100,000 for sure. And I haven't done this before, but I have made millions off of crypto, and I've been doing this for the past 8 years. So I'm going to do it again right in front of your face this cycle, because we are in a full-on bull cycle, and I have been taking advantage of these little teeny tiny coins, these small, extremely cheap, not cheap by price. We had a whole video on that like 2 videos ago, reference that for sure. Cheap by liquidity, which is the real version of cheap, because the whole point of you buying cheap is so that the number can go up as quickly as possible. And that went over some people's heads. And this is kind of serious because I'm wearing a suit, but it's kind of not serious because we buy meme coins. And let's just get into the subject. I'm getting confusing at this point. So here's the entire step-by-step base chain coin trading checklist. This is how you find those really small coins that move very fast. Now, just to be clear with you guys, this is only for the 1K to 100K challenge. I have a bigger account, way bigger, and I can't just put $100,000 into these types of coins. So this strategy is primarily for small coins that can do like a 10,000% return, 6,000% return. But keep in mind, the risk behind this is absurd. It's going to be crazy. I just want to be clear with you guys. If you gamble, that is on you. I have risk management, which is at the bottom of this with the link and everything. Let me say it again. Stop gambling. If you're gambling, stop it now, please. Don't be a gambler. We use risk management. We play it safe. We do research. We move quick. Okay. We treat this like a professional. Okay. So please, if you're watching this video, also take responsibility for your own actions. People are like, Alex, but you told me to do this. I am not telling you to do anything. This is not financial advice. I'm just simply doing what I do and then updating the internet. So if you feel like I traded for you, well, unfortunately, I can't click that button and I can't physically do it for you. I don't even know who you are. So no, I never told anyone to buy or sell at all in any way, shape, or form. And the reason I'm saying that is because there's people that don't like to take responsibility for their actions. So I'm calling it out. If you don't like to take responsibility for your actions, you're not going to win. And I can promise you that. Also, by the way, we're going to be giving out this entire checklist Saturday. So Saturday in my email list, let me show you. At coinpixedu.com or in the pinned comment below, you guys can sign up for our email newsletter. We give out emails that will never be sent out again. The first email is going to be at December 11th. This is Thursday at midnight. We'll be releasing an email on financial foundations. And then December 14th, we're going to be releasing emails about the base chain coin trading checklist that we're going to be going over in this video. So if you want to get access to these emails, again, once I send them out, I don't send them again. Sign up for the email newsletter in the pinned comment below. Let's go over some news in the market. So the first thing is Chainlink is partnering with Coinbase to power data and interoperability for its tokenized asset platform. So RWA is a big narrative that we need to pay attention to. And the funny part about it is the coin that I bought yesterday that went up 220% was an RWA coin. So we have this major narrative that's being built by the biggest players like Coinbase. They're building this narrative. We know BlackRock has been building this narrative for a long time. And a narrative is basically just a story. Stories in crypto is what drives demand for these assets. So please pay attention to the RWA coins. You want to have this confirmed narrative before buying. So the coin we bought yesterday, again, was RWA, and the coin that I bought today is technically under RWA. And it's a confirmed trend, a confirmed narrative. Not only is it a confirmed trend, a confirmed narrative, but they have other narratives from the past that we've had for a very long time. So we're talking about a very strong trend on the coin that we're going to be talking about in this video that I purchased for the 1K to 100K challenge. In other news, we have Circle, the creator of USDC, partnering with Binance. Now, this is crazy, and the reason I say this is because Binance has their own stablecoin. So what's the benefit of them partnering? Well, I'll tell you that USDC has ties to the Federal Reserve. It has ties to Coinbase. Pretty much when it comes to America specifically, USDC has their hands in all of the biggest institutions. I mean, they're pretty much partnered with Coinbase, and Coinbase controls like 90% of all the Bitcoin spot ETF. And Coinbase is the only publicly traded company when it comes to a crypto exchange in America. And I mean, the connections are crazy. There's people that work for the Federal Reserve that worked for Circle, and then people from Circle work with the Federal Reserve. There's like this whole thing. I've made a video on this. When it comes to the connections of Circle and Coinbase, it gets pretty crazy. Now they're partnering with Binance. I really believe USDC is going to take over the market when it comes to the biggest stablecoin in the world. And in the future, they could put it as a central bank digital currency, which of course Trump has spoken against. This could happen after his term. It could happen during his term. Right now, he could be putting the pieces of the puzzle in place. So in the future, it could happen. But I do believe that this one world government, whoever the deep state is, they want one currency that they can control. And I believe that currency is going to be USDC. What I want you to do is snip this video. Remember this, because I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. I don't know when. It could be 10, 20 years, but I believe it's going to be USDC. In other news, we have MicroStrategy, the purchaser of Bitcoin. The Bitcoin bull that's been buying so much Bitcoin that it's pretty much pumping the market is set to join the NASDAQ 100 on December 23rd of 2024. Again, this is big news showing that crypto is getting institutional adoption and attention. Pay attention to what's going on. January is going to be crazy. I'm telling you, that's when I'm going to make these big purchases. Right now, we're doing the 1K to 100K challenge, high risk. But in January, that's when I'm going to be putting these big trades into place when it comes to crypto. And here we have more stablecoin news. So Ripple has a stablecoin now, and it's approved by regulators. That's insane to me, and not because of Ripple getting a stablecoin, but because they are trying to artificially create this altcoin cycle again. This happened last cycle, and it started the altcoin cycle. Let me show you. This chart right here is the Bitcoin dominance chart. And so when this goes down, dominance is lost on Bitcoin, and it usually signals a massive altcoin season. So this is last cycle. This is 2020, 2021. And you can see right here that we have this massive downtrend, and it was started by right here, issuing guidance allowing banks to use stablecoins for payments. So this is like regulatory clarity on stablecoins. What we're getting now is not exactly regulatory clarity on stablecoins, but we are getting some huge stablecoin news. So again, just more confirmations. The amount of confirmations we've had on altcoin cycle is pretty ridiculous. It's time to start taking action. Take crypto serious. Learn, do what you have to do. Don't just trade dramatically. Take this as a call to action for learning, not just for buying things blindly. If you don't know what you're doing, please, you will get scammed. But take this as a call to action to get active. Let's work. It's time to work because again, January, once it happens, it happens. Like it's probably happening right now. I would say it's above like an 80% chance that it's happening right now before our eyes. But after January, I'm telling you guys, you're not going to have time to research. You're just going to be buying and selling. You'll learn a lot, but the chances of you getting wrecked are way higher, right? So it's like having an experience bar. You need to have as much experience as you possibly can. And the only way you can simulate that is through research, right? You need to have as much experience as you can before the altcoin season starts because, man, trust me, prepare yourself for what's coming. In other news, we have the billionaire Ray Dalio saying that he wants to steer away from debt and buy assets that have hard money properties like gold and Bitcoin. This is from Ray Dalio's mouth. He's the owner of Bridgewater Associates, one of the best producing hedge funds on the face of the planet. Has one of the longest running records for profitability that we've ever seen. This dude makes a lot of money. And he also has a book called Principles. I highly recommend it. His books are really good. But he's talking about Bitcoin. Like, come on. Institutional adoption right in front of your face. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. So this is the coin that I bought. It's an all-in-one solution to enable digitized, traceable supply chain. So we know supply chain is a confirmed narrative for demand. We know this. VeChain, so many different coins follow this narrative. So it's technically DPIN, RWA. They're saying it's AI. I don't know how it's AI. I'm not going to go into it. But my goal is not to hold this long term, just to be clear with everybody, because it is so small. Although it's been doing well since it launched, this coin is only 400 in liquidity. It has a very, very small liquidity pool. So make sure you guys understand this coin is small. And again, the reason I'm buying this coin is because we have the confirmed narrative of what? Chainlink, which is specifically an RWA coin, partnering with Coinbase. And yesterday I bought a coin. We're going to go over it, but yesterday I bought a coin that's up 220%. I think yesterday's coin is probably a little bit better fundamental wise, but I believe this coin is pretty solid as well. And I actually purchased this today with the 1K to 100K challenge. So I bought this yesterday in my live stream. It was actually very interesting. And this is very important because, you know, multiplying my skill set is what I pretty much want to do with my group. Like, I can't do this by myself. They find gems, right? So we're in a live stream yesterday, and Ashley, shout out to Ashley. She also said that she researched with Mike and Luke. They found a coin and she brought it to my attention, and I'm sitting here like researching. I'm like, oh, let's look at it, right?
For a fact. Now the question is it a scam? Did you look into the team?
Yep, there's a team. It's legit.
So it's not a scam?
No.
This right here, how legit is the team?
I mean, they list everybody. It's no one. They're out of, I think, Vietnam. But everybody has LinkedIn's. I looked through everybody. Like, they're not like people you know, like they work for Google or this or that.
So basically the gist is we went into looking into the actual team. I have an actual, a specific prompt that I use with ChatGPT that looks into the team itself. So all I do is copy and paste the prompt in the website, and it kind of does some research on the team for me.
Like that happening.
Where's my, I paste the website so we can get some here. All right, so we got blockchain expert, masters in information systems, background includes military contractor, funding multiple ventures, showcasing. Yeah, this is good. Aerospace engineering, master technology. Okay, this is not bad.
And then I looked into the liquidity, and I pretty much followed the checklist that we're going to go over in this video. I ended up making the buy call live, and I walked through the entire tutorial. So I essentially, you know, everything I do, I update it. So there's a 1K to 100K challenge in my groups that everyone gets access to. As you guys know, we are reopening the group on January 1st, and I highly suggest you take advantage because we will close the door again. So make sure you join when I open it on January 1st. Let me say it again. Make sure you join if you want to get access to this type of stuff. I walk through the entire tutorial. We provide support, right? Again, this is not financial advice. It's just me trading. I show people, and then people need help like with this and with that. You could lose your money if you don't know what you're doing. So this happened yesterday and it's up 220%. Let me show you. So this is the official buy on chain. I put about $689 in wrapped ether. And then I have, as you can see right here, the final amount, which is $1,832. This was less than 24 hours. It's about 12 hours or so. So it's a pretty good trade for the 1K to 100K challenge. And we are up. I'm almost at $3,000. So we started off with 1,000. We're almost at $3,000. I think we're at like 2,600 or 2,700. So we're doing pretty good on this challenge. Once we get to like the 5 to 10,000 level, the multiples will increase substantially. So it will give us more leverage. When you're starting off small, it's going to be slow, but as you get more money, the leverage increases, and it should get us to that 100K level, at least by the end of the bull market. But I will continuously update you guys in the public, not just in my groups, but in the public as well. But obviously the groups are going to get a little bit more support. So this is a coin, May Network, and it's at 26 cents. And the primary reason is because the team was not super legit, but they were pretty legit. They weren't a scam. So when you're looking for coins at this price level, you just have to make sure they're not a scam. And they're legit, they're public. As you can see right here, we're not going to probably hold this forever, but I am going to make money off of it. If we come over to the actual website, you can see that the price action is really good. The liquidity is at 571. So it can continue to go up. I'm going to hold onto it. I sold my initial investment. I took profit, so I can guarantee that I won't lose, but I'm going to hold on to this because I do believe it has more room to grow. And yeah, now let's talk about the new trades that I made today. All right, so let's run through the actual checklist so I can show you how I found these coins. And so the first thing is you have to ensure that we are on the right chain. We are going to be using base chain. Now there's 3 ways to know if it's the right chain. Number 1, the chain has to be in a confirmed narrative with momentum, meaning there has to be a big story, right? That this chain is being involved with in some way, shape, or form. The story behind Base is that they are backed up by Coinbase, which is one of the biggest stories ever. And last cycle, Binance and Binance Smart Chain did very well. So there's a massive narrative behind Base. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that you want to make sure the decentralized exchange has liquidity. And that's not on this, but this is kind of like the first part, ensure that it's on Base. It's like the chain. You have to make sure you're on the right chain. But the second one is the decentralized exchange. There's a lot of big chains with a lot of liquidity, but their DEXs have no liquidity and there's no transaction volume at all. This is where the buy and sells happen. So if you're going to buy a coin on the DEX, you better make sure that DEX has momentum. The TVL and the liquidity on the DEX have to, go up for sure. It has to have momentum. And then the last thing is you need a killer app, a coin that is pulling users onto the chain. For Base, that's Virtual's protocol and AI agents. It's up like 6,000%, one of the best coins in recent history, and it's been pulling a lot of users onto Base. And there's other coins on Base that have been doing well as well, but this is the recent one that's been doing well on Base. Now that we understand that, only choose from the best decentralized exchanges for Base, that's Uniswap and Airdrome, and then we're gonna pick these liquidity levels, anywhere from 50,000 to 500,000. And if you want to go smaller, you could do 50,000 to 200,000. Now I'm going to pull up in, Gecko Terminal and show you exactly how to pull this off. So as you can see right here in the bottom left-hand side, right here is Base. And then you can literally scroll down and you'll see a whole bunch of coins. But if you click filters right here on the right-hand side, it will give you these filters. So you could pick all DEXs, but I recommend only picking the best DEXs. And you could find the DEX liquidity on DeFi Llama. We're not going to go into that, but it's basically Uniswap and Airdrome have most of the liquidity on Base. Then you could pick the liquidity level. Let's do 50,000 to, let's say, 500,000, right? 50,000 to 500,000. Then you click save. And it gives you a list of smaller projects. You guys know, I've talked about liquidity like 2 videos ago, forgot exactly when, but this shows you cheapness of a coin. Liquidity is the reason why a coin is cheap, not price. Price is misleading because you could have a coin that's worth $5,000 and it's actually cheap because it moves fast. It's very difficult to explain. I did a whole explanation on my YouTube channel. Please reference that. But as you can see right here, we have a whole list of coins that are small in my perspective because the liquidity is small. 100K liquidity is very small, very, very, very high risk. That means if somebody buys in with 100K, they're essentially doubling the price. If they buy with $100,000 and $100,000 liquidity pool, they're doubling the price, right? So just make sure you guys understand this. Then I look for momentum. I look at the 24-hour percentage increase and I make sure these have momentum. And then from there, I pretty much just dissect the coin, right? And again, the 3 variables I always talk about in research is number 1, make sure you start with liquidity. This is what we're doing. We're essentially starting with the liquidity when it comes to a coin. We're looking at the liquidity, right? Number 2, make sure the coin has demand. And then number 3, make sure that there's an actual team or some way to verify that they're not a scam. Not every project has a team, but we're going to go through the demand part right now. This is how quick some of these projects move. Since the start of this video, it was up 15%. Now it's up 48%. Just from me making this video. This is extremely fast, but let's get into the demand. This is why liquidity pools are important to understand because this will show you exactly what's going on. Let's look at the 15 minutes so you guys can see it for yourself. And I'm pretty sure by the time I launch the video, it's going to be up even higher. Look at the 15 minute. Right? This is insane. Right? This is literally like not too long ago. Like I'm making this video and the price is increasing as I'm making this video, which is insane. But this stuff, it's obviously very lucrative if you know what you're doing, right? So let's get into the demand part, right? Let's focus. But the point is that if you look on the website, the goal is that I'm selling these coins quick. I'm not doing deep research. I have a research strategy that takes anywhere from 30 to 50 hours to research one coin. That's for longer coins. When you hold it for longer periods of time, like a position trader, you'll hold it for like 6 months to a year, whatever the case is. But in this case, I'm just trying to get the gist of it because some of these trades, I'm telling you guys, I'll research for like an hour or two and then I'll buy and then I'll sell like within a day. These are quick. These are very quick. So as you can see right here, it's supply chain. I know from my experience that this is a trend. Demand basically means how easy is it to get adopted? How many people are going to buy it? That's what demand means. And in crypto, demand moves off of stories. I would say every financial asset class, but even more important in crypto, being that these are like little social media posts. That's the best way to explain what a crypto is. It's like a social media post. Imagine if somebody put out a picture or a video on Instagram and you can invest in that picture or video. That's basically the best way to look at cryptos. And there's a whole study on narrative economics that I believe is kind of like my niche. This is what I do, narrative economics specifically. But I just know that the supply chain narrative is legit from VeChain. So let's look into VeChain so I can show you that there's a confirmed narrative. There's two, supply chain and RWAs. Supply chain is like the big narrative that is confirmed by specifically VeChain. And when it comes to a narrative, you have to make sure that the narrative leads to price action. You have to make sure that it's not just in your head that, hey, this narrative I know for a fact works because this coin went up by this much. That's important. And VeChain went up by a lot. So VeChain is basically supply chain as well. As you can see, this has price action. In the last 30 days, it's gone up 122%. And if we look at the last day, it's gone up 11%. And if we look specifically, since it started, this has a lot of price history. And if you understand marketing like I understand marketing, this is also one of the most searched coins that you could find. So it has a long-term confirmed narrative, meaning we know that this story, which I know a lot of people talk about utility. Yeah, the utility of this, that, and the third. Hey, man, utility is not bad, but I'm telling you, it's all about stories. It's the story behind the utility that gets, price action. But the point is, we know that VeChain, when it comes to supply chain specifically, right? If we pull up in the website, this is supply chain, right? And you can look into it for yourself. I know for a fact. I've layer one for sustainability. They're calling it a layer one, but its initial narrative was supply chain specifically. I'm not going to go into it too much, but the point is, that's what they did. And if you basically study this, and I studied this in the past, and I have like these, I'm making a database, okay? So hear me out. First time I've said this publicly. I'm making a database of all of the old narratives because I've done timeline price analysis in a lot of it, and I experienced a lot of it, an old database that will show you all of the narratives that have worked in the past, and then they reuse them in the future. Narratives morph into other narratives, right? So they have kind of like this older narrative, which is supply chain, morphing into this project that also has RWA, right? So I believe it's a confirmed narrative. This is my personal perspective. It's pretty confirmed. We know RWA is confirmed with BlackRock. Everybody's talking about it all over the internet. So this is, to me, a nice little sweet spot of a coin with low liquidity. So this confirmed demand. Now, demand is a deep subject and there's no perfect checklist, but hopefully you guys can learn from my videos and get a good grasp of it. All right, and the next thing we do after we check the liquidity levels is we confirm the narrative and make sure that we have momentum in price. And we know we have momentum in price. We saw that we have momentum in price, right? We make sure we have momentum in price. And then the next step is to check the team. I have this prompt here. All I do is copy that. I put it into ChatGPT and it gives you this. It kind of gives you a breakdown. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. AI is not perfect yet, but it gives you a nice breakdown. And the point here is to understand that this project's not a scam. You want to make sure the project is not a scam. Let me say it again. You want to make sure that this project is not a scam. When you're dealing with small projects, the vast majority of them are scams. So this part is not to assess the team on a deep level where you're looking for 25 hours and looking into these people's lives. That's for longer term investments. For these types of investments, you just want to look into it with like kind of like an overview perspective. And this is what this 1K to 100K challenge is going to be high risk like that, guys. I told you I'm going to move. I told you I'm going to move, and this is me moving, right? So I used the prompt to kind of briefly look over the team. I don't know these people too well. It could be a lie. It actually could be a lie. It really can. But I'm not putting in a lot of money. Let me say it again. I'm moving fast and I'm using small dollar amounts. I'm moving fast, small dollar amounts. Just understand that. Really understand that. Fast, smaller dollar amounts. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I hope people don't gamble. But the point is the team is legit. They're real. It hits the demand variable I'm looking for. And this hits the liquidity level. It has momentum. This is good. This is where I start making the trade. And the last most important step, I'm going to bring my face over there so you guys really understand. Right here, you must use the martingale strategy. We have a martingale calculator. You can use ChatGPT. You could just simply tell ChatGPT, hey, make me a martingale calculator or whatever you want. This is better, but you must use risk management. So I use two positions. So basically how it works is, let's say I put, I don't know, I want to allocate $1,000 to the trade. I'll put 333, and if I'm wrong and it goes down, then I put 666, right? So essentially make sure I follow this doubling strategy. I did a very aggressive martingale strategy by only using 2 positions, but hopefully you guys get the point. I hope you're getting the point. We're going to have update videos on demand and liquidity and things like that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of my community. I've been moving very fast, if you guys haven't noticed, because I believe the altcoin season is here and I'm trying to take advantage of it as much as I possibly can. Head on over to my website in the pinned comment below to get those emails that we're going to be sending out. And January 1st, we're reopening my group. So I highly suggest you guys take advantage. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism, subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thank you for watching this, guys. Catch you later.